Nicks and bruises, we are back. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. What's good? I got my guy DJ Shuttle in the building. What up, Shuttle?
All aboard Sunday.
I
Yeah,
know the slogan.
we got a no game Sunday, so it's a great day to talk shop.
No doubt. No doubt. Game tomorrow. So I didn't know if I was gonna be able to squeeze a show in. I said, and then Shuttle hit me up like, yo, what's good? Let's do a show. So here we are. Um, what's been going on, man? Well, back to back losses. Number one.
Yeah,
Got bumped out the in season tournament and then got smacked around by the Celtics. Um, I mean, you could probably say that might be our worst loss of the season. It got real ugly. Um, I don't think Sim did a show. I stayed up a little bit and didn't see him doing the show, so I ended up calling it a night. But it was a little disappointing, a little depressing. Brunson tweaked his ankle late in the game. No reason to be in the game. I know Twitter was going crazy about that. And then we get the news Mitchell Robinson got I think an ankle injury. They said they was going to do some further testing, but if they doing testing, I'm expecting him to miss a game at the very least. So,
yeah.
um,
Even if it's precautionary, they'll do that.
that's where we are with the current news, current updates, and we're gonna just talk about some players, man. What the Knicks gotta do something, man. The Knicks gotta do something. I'm not trying to go crazy and overreact with these two
Yeah,
losses,
right.
but
Well,
we were talking about it before the losses.
but exactly, and I'm gonna go back to what I said 2 weeks ago, and now that the team won some games, had a little hot streak, 1-3, lose 1-3, lose two. Again, if you go back to all of the wins, this is what I said 2 weeks ago. It's an average team. Based on your wins and your losses, it's an average team. All the losses, like
Above 500.
there's no wins against top tier teams. This is what I said 2 weeks ago. Then you go on a run, you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and I got no problem with that because you can only play who's on the schedule. But when you play who's on the schedule and they're top tier teams, then you know, like you are who you are. Like you beat teams that are not going to the playoffs, and you lose the teams that are going to the playoffs. And that is what got me locked in and said, you know what, are we going to be active and aggressive in making a trade or not? Because if we keep the status quo, this team is borderline playing team.
I
And
mean,
if this team as is a playing team, I'm not gonna be shocked. Orlando's for real. Indiana just showed you in the in season tournament, they are for real. You combine those teams with the Celtics, Bucks, and 76ers, Knicks is looking like they fighting for the 6th seed, maybe.
we haven't even mentioned Cleveland.
Or the Heat.
And if they, put it together, or Miami, if they
Yeah.
start putting it together, yeah.
So like, please don't come for me, Knicks Nation. Don't come for me because I mean, we just ran it down real quick, and then I was trying to have a little positivity about things. Like, all right, well, at least the games that we losing, you end the games. Now you got a couple more blowout losses. Now you got more losses to top tier teams. So listen. I'm using the Tibbs approach. 20 games. All right, we 20 games in now. Now we are who we are. We're a team that beats the bottom feeders and loses to the top tier teams. So the question now is, are we going to make a power move or not? And that's what I wanted to talk about.
All right. Before we gonna deep dive into that. I know you got your list of potentials or potential targets, potential disgruntled guys or whatever. We're gonna get into that. But you just made me think about 20 games, the coaching the coaching change, or excuse me, the lineup change.
20 games tips, 20 games tips. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got bars and everything for all of this stuff. So yeah, let's talk about it.
So I still didn't get to watch the whole game. I don't know if you got to. I know you said you was rewatching it. When we
Yeah,
were
I,
texting.
I watched the majority of it. Then my stomach started hurting watching it, so I just stopped.
What did you see in the change? I know from what I saw. I mean, I think Grimes he might have only had 8 points. But he was way more aggressive. You know what I mean? In that second unit, I definitely noticed that. I didn't really get to see DiVincenzo too much, so I don't even know like what his stat line was, how he played, or if it looked any different. But what did you see in the lineup change? Starting
Well,
unit, bench, second unit.
what I saw is that if you're the starting shooting guard and you play with Brunson, Randall, and RJ, it's gonna be challenging for you to get your shots. It's gonna be challenging for you to do what you do when you come off the bench and one or two of the guys are out of the lineup when you're in there. So I mean, Dante only put up 6 shots, and 5 of them were 3-pointers. So I mean, the thing with Dante is that, we just know that he has another level of confidence. And, the idea that he's going to miss a shot and go to the bench, like he's not really walking around with that kind of energy. He's a bit more proven. And, listen, he played with the Warriors, he's been with the champ. So it's a different kind of savvy and a different kind of, I'm here type of energy that he's going to play with. So I don't really see him looking deferring per se. But that being said, Boston is an extremely tough defensive team. So when you go against Boston, you know, like listen, Holiday, White, KP, you know what I'm saying? Like Boston is a tough defensive team. So
I,
I don't want
I
to.
feel like White had the best game I've ever seen him play.
I mean,
I
no,
mean,
White's has
I mean, I don't. I may have I just not seen him enough. I
I
know the
mean,
accolades and I know what people have said about him,
right?
but that was the best game I've seen him play.
Well, I mean, it's not typical that he scores 30 points. So, he's more of a defensive stopper and hits the shots that we want Grimes to hit, the open threes. So, if I had to bet, I don't know for sure, but if I had to bet, it might be his career high. Like I don't, I don't think I've ever seen anything about him scoring 30 points ever. But yeah, I mean, he had a great game. Knicks defense is looking subpar as of late. And you know, you playing Matador D in the words of my brother Clyde. You playing that Matador D and you're missing shots, you're letting them fast break, you know. Yeah, the defense is not good right now. Right now, the defense is like this, it's been in a funk. They gave up 70 points in the half again. They just gave up 70 points in the half to who was that? Was that Milwaukee
I believe so.
in the tournament game?
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving up 70 plus in back-to-back games. And these are against top tier teams. Hence my argument again.
Did Mitch get my bad? Did Mitch get hurt in the last game?
Mitch did get hurt in the last game, and so he sat for a while, but he came back in.
Okay. I'm sorry. You start talking about defense, and in my brain, I just was like, man, if he's hurt and he's the catalyst of our defense, you know what I mean? Like, what is that gonna do? to this team. And second thought, I feel like Mitch has been in a down stretch. He started the season hot, you know what I mean? Phenomenal. He's been in a down stretch past couple games, probably 3 or 4 games. Quickly as well has been in a down slump past couple games.
And
Um,
grind.
hey, Grimes. And RJ, started the season hot and you know, kind of tapered off.
Yeah,
Um,
Randall and Brunson. They've been doing the best part that they can, but you need more than that.
so yeah, let's get into this list and go through them. I'm gonna start off with a guy that's not. I don't think he was on the list. Let me pull up the list you gave. Um, here we go.
Now
Yeah,
this list
yeah, yeah.
this list is in no particular order. This list is not saying, "Oh, we got to get these
We
guys." This
yeah, we
list,
just going through names. We going through
we,
names and we gonna
we,
talk
we
about it.
yeah, we in
Yay,
the
yay, nay.
yeah, we in the
Why not? You know what I mean? This
right.
is
So
by all. Got to
and
put the disclaimer out.
yeah, gotta put the disclaimer out early. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, we got people in the chat and they can definitely throw a tomato if you don't like it. Throw a thumbs up if you do like it, and give some details why not.
Yeah, I see the chat was saying I gotta watch more games. White is good. Um,
Now, why is and that's why I feel like they got rid of Brogdon, because White and Brogdon was kind of more or less the same player, and Brogdon probably a
that's
little bit
why.
better. Brogdon kind of a little bit, maybe a little bit more on the assist, but they're both super, super good defensive players, both solid 3-point shooters, and can get to the basket and get their own buckets. Like,
Mhm.
very much the same player. So now White's official. I just don't think he's scored 30 points official. You know what I'm saying? But he did that. He did that Friday night. But everybody come to the Garden and do career numbers. Unfortunately, too much of that.
Yeah, that's been the thing for years. Chat. I want y'all engagement in this too. So we're gonna go through these names. We're gonna give our opinions, our thoughts. And you guys let us know what y'all think. Yay, nay. If you want to get into details into why as to why, you go ahead and put it in the chat as well. So this guy's not on the list, but I'm gonna start with this guy just because his name is you know in the Bleacher Report rumors, not about the Knicks per se, but just wanting to come back, wanting to get back in the league, and being Mitch is hurt. I don't know the severity of it, but
Oh no, don't say it.
Dwight
It's
Howard.
the-
Dwight Howard. I'm gonna start there. I mean,
Yo, listen, I don't want to say that to offend nobody. I'm just saying it's a
I'm
lot of
talking. We talking basketball only.
look. You can't talk basketball only when you're talking about this guy with all of that rumors and allegations. New York City got too much distractions. If you know what I'm talking about.
All right, we go. I got my first tomato. I haven't had a tomato ever. Oh,
Salute,
I was just throwing it
salute
out
to
there.
the chat for throwing a tomato at Tony for that one, because that is a hell to the no. In the words of Medea, that is a hell to the no.
So let me
Not
ask
to
you.
not,
Let me.
not to mention center. If any position is probably one of the strengths, it's probably center. He's going to be the third string center. What are you going to do with him at third string center?
Hey, my only reason I thought of it, two reasons. One, his name is the first thing that come up on Bleacher Report rumors, NBA rumors, and that's
Not to the Knicks,
no,
but
not to the Knicks. Just that he
just
wants to come back, and the fact that Mitch was
hurt.
Mitch is gonna miss it at least a game.
Okay.
And we could jump right past it. I just got one question: Is it because of the off the court stuff, or is it that combined with not really? You wouldn't really want him anyway.
Okay, let's just get the benefit of the doubt. I don't care about the off the court stuff. Unless Mitch is going to be out for an extended period of time, I wouldn't. It wouldn't even be. It wouldn't even be a thought.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sharon says Howard fits Brooklyn, not the Knicks. Oh,
Yeah,
and like
that
you
new,
said,
the
I
new
got
Brooklyn,
Smith,
the new Brook, the new downtown Brooklyn, huh?
and then he also said he can't defend like Mitch and he can't shoot. Um, hey, I was just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. It's
No
the first thing
coaches
that
days while you're at it.
I
That's
so,
hilarious.
oh, all right. Who you wanna hold up.
So so
Julian
so
Blood said
before,
might as well sign Kai Soto. Uh
listen,
hey,
they're not available. He gives you a new deal. So here's my deal, Tone. Right, my deal is before maybe even go through the list.
mhm.
It's like, well, what is the biggest area of weakness, and what does this team need to add?
For me, I mean, it feels like we still need shooting. It definitely still feels that way. Um, but I'm shout out to Josh, man. I'm starting to feel like what Josh been saying, and we need another playmaker. We need another because I think that's part of why the offense gets stagnant at times because a lot of we really only got 4 guys that could create for themselves. Um,
Well, I think that when you have a guy that can't help space the floor and is not an offensive threat like Mitch, then you couple that with guys that are not elite at getting their own shot. Like Brunson is really the only one that is semi-elite at getting his own shot. Randall can get his own shot, but he's not really elite at it. You know what I mean? Like he's the best. He's one of the best the Knicks have. But when you put him in comparison to elite get your own shot makers, he's not elite. He's not explosive enough at the rim. RJ
so
falls in the same category, even less elite. You know what I'm saying? But at least he's getting to the foul line and hitting the foul shot. So that is at least a step to kind of to make up for it. But he's back to missing some layups again, and I'm starting to scratch my head. But that's another story.
well, let's start with Chicago, and let's start with those two guys, right?
Okay.
I mean, we've talked about it plenty of time over time. Levine, I don't think he. I mean, we heard what his agency said. They don't want him here. I think once that is said, that kind of puts it off the table, right?
It does for me. I, I
So,
I had to, I mean, of course, anything's possible, but I would imagine, as far as the NBA and front offices go, when they hear that, they're not engaged.
um, I'm high on Demar. I've been high on Demar for a while. I think he probably is the best available guy. Like, you know what I mean, that we know is available.
Right.
He's probably and could fit and help. I think he's probably the best guy on this list and won't cost too much. But yeah, I'm all for Demar. I think he would help in the starting unit. I know everybody the naysayers focus on his lack of 3-point shooting. I mean, he's shooting 37% this year. He can shoot the three. He just doesn't take a lot. But what he doesn't give you at 3-point from the 3-point shot, I mean, he's a knockdown 2-point, mid-range guy, which to me is something we're lacking on this team anyway. We got
tremendously.
Brunson in the mid-range, and that's about it. Quickly with the floaters, maybe. Randall, he's either off or on, but that's about it for the mid-range. So I think he could actually, and he could playmate from the mid-range. So if he's getting in the middle of the floor, not only can he score the basket, but he can make the right play, find the right guy. Um, I would definitely go after DeMar. But like I said, we've talked about DeMar for a couple of shows already. So let's we're gonna put a check mark on him and move on and see if there's anybody else that may be a better fit. Um,
Well, but I gotta ask though, like, and it's not so much. I guess it's, if I had to just say it out loud, I know we have probably talked about it, on all the different platforms, but I don't know. It's like with DeMar, man. Like, I like DeMar, and I feel like while he's older, I don't feel like he's old, and I don't feel like his game, his style of play is
mhm.
like where he can be at a pretty high level for like at least another 2 more years.
2, 3 more years. Yeah, I agree.
And and like, I know it's kind of blasphemous to say this, and you don't want to give up young players for old players, but like like is you could either have him alongside RJ, or you could have, or if I had him in place of RJ, like if I had Brunson, Dante, and DeMar versus Brunson, DeMar, and RJ, I kind of would rather Dante and DeMar. I just feel like it's just I just feel like it's a better cohesive fit for all of it, for the entire unit.
Oh, I just want to ask Sharon, why what don't you like about DeRozan? For the Knicks. Oh, he gave me
Yeah,
tomatoes for
yeah.
DeRozan.
I mean, and you got to remember, regardless of what you decide to do with the lineup and yada yada, truth is, it's not going to cost you more than Evan Fournier and one first round pick. He's an expiring contract, so the team's not going to give up more than one first round pick to deal for him. Maybe a first and a second, first and a couple of seconds. Maybe and if you give a second first round pick, it's going to be something that is going to be with some type of clause or protections and all kind of things like that. So you're giving up Evan Fournier. You're not doing what I want to do, which is to trade RJ for him. You're not doing what I want to do.
I need to start watching other teams more. So Sharon says he doesn't defend, and I've heard a lot of people talk about DeRozan's defense as it's bad. But I mean, maybe I'm still remembering the DeRozan in Toronto, but he was a good defender then. So I don't know what has transpired other than age and how much he may have fallen off.
And
Um,
this is what I'm saying for RJ, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, RJ is not a good defender. So, and like you put DeMar's mid-range ability with Brunson and Randall and Dante, I just feel like, I mean, I wish RJ would develop the mid-range, and then we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Yeah, how do you not take dribble, pull up to the foul line, bong, and just be able to nail that shot? Like, everything is going all the way to the rim, and this is why we're having this conversation, because while he was hot in the beginning, it was mainly hot on 3-pointers, not what we really need, which is improved mid-range game, getting your own shot. But yeah, DeRozan, let's move on.
Sharon says he was never a good defender. I don't know.
He
I
was all
mean,
right. He was all
he
right.
he couldn't defend LeBron, but who could? Other than that, I thought he was pretty good. Where you want to go next?
How are you feeling about the lack of Um, the, I was concerned about power forward and backup to Randall. How you feeling about that? You feeling like it's not an issue or something that is an issue?
Well, I think it's an issue, but not just because of not just because of that. It just we lack size anyway. So we got Randall who's undersized, and then we don't even have a backup for who's taller. You know what I mean? Who's taller that could kind of supplement and give you a different look. So ideally, I guess if we were looking in that direction, ideally I would want a 4-5. You know what I mean? So I would want a guy who's tall enough to play the 5 as well as the 4, if need be. And
But we already have Sims, no? You need somebody better.
better. What I'm looking at, because I also want to stretch 5. So I'm trying to combine the stretch 5 with the backup 4, if we could find somebody who fits that role. You know what I mean? Because that's one of the things we really don't have on our team at all. You know what I mean? Besides us being a small team, our centers, as good as they are, none of them. I mean, Hartenstein. I don't care if he misses. I wish he would shoot more threes. You know what I mean? Put some more attempts up. Make that a part of our offense. Make that a threat. And honestly, I'm looking at it from these last 2 games. Those teams are going to be our biggest problems, because like Lopez, who stretches the floor, who now Mitchell Robinson is somewhat ineffective, because he's got to pay attention to that big, but he's also now away from the rim, away from defending the rim, away from getting rebounds. So it's really hurting our team when we're facing a center who can stretch the floor.
It nullifies his strengths.
And nullifies. Same thing with Boston with KP or Horford or whoever's playing the center position. And then it's not even a dynamic that we have in our arsenal. You know what I mean? To kind of use when need be.
Turning
So
it into a double negative.
a double negative. So that's why my thinking is, if I'm going after a big, I want him to be able to kind of play the 4 and 5.
So that goes into Mr. Irrelevant on the list that I sent you. The guy you love to hate, but the guy is everything that you just said, and not to mention he's actually a tough guy and the guy that can bring some of that that you need on this team. Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk fits everything you just said. You could put him in that power forward. You could put him in that center. He's hit clutch threes in playoff games. Forget about just being a guy throwing them up. You know what I'm saying? And he's known to hurt you and put you on the IR. I mean, like you need somebody that got that kind of attitude out there. Kelly Olynyk, what do you think?
I'm not mad at it. Where's he currently?
Okay.
Utah?
He's with Utah. Yes, can we get Danny Ainge to dance?
Oh man. That's gonna be another show for me, man.
What's that?
Just, I mean, we was talking off air about the Toronto situation with the lawsuit and all that. You know what I mean? And then obviously the bad blood with Danny Ainge and that spectacle with Donovan Mitchell and the back and forth through media. You know what I mean? Like, just how much is this stuff hurting us? You know what I mean? Like, it's burning bridges as far as because I feel like Toronto's off the table, right?
Right.
If we're talking about doing some type of negotiation. So my question would be
Is
is there
Utah the
is,
team?
yeah, is there good faith between the two, or is it still animosity and grudges? You know what I mean? Because in business, see, me personally, I hold grudges, but in business, you kind of can't do that, right? Because now you burning a bridge.
Yeah, well, this is why you bring new people in, and you don't have Leon Rose making the call. Scott Perry's no longer part of the team. You don't obviously Worldwide West is not making the call. So now this is when you get like the capologist guy maybe to make the call to kind of initiate it. You get somebody else in the house to get involved and represent the team. Hopefully that helps to make Utah at least be open for a conversation. But I mean, I don't see why Utah would be uh against against the conversation for a guy. I mean, this guy's not he's not doing a lot for them. You know, he's not playing a whole lot of minutes. You know, they've got their center of the future, the young guy Kessler. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you know, Knicks got draft picks. Danny Ainge loves draft picks. We know that. So yeah, man, like get this guy engaged, man.
he definitely fits the bill. I would not be mad at um him being an addition to the team. Um,
I wonder what the
yeah,
chat thinks.
I like that. That's
Yeah,
another.
I don't have the live open. Any feedback on the chat on Olenek?
I think David L said he would be nice on in the second unit, or somebody else. Who was it? Oh, I lost it, but somebody said, Dan. Oh, Dripmore. Danny Ainge is not trading Duke to the Knicks. Uh, yeah, that's really just the that's it.
So he's right now he's averaging 21 minutes a game, 59% from the field, 48% from three, 89% from the line, 5.5 rebounds a game, 3.5 assists a game, 8 points a game. I mean, you put him in behind Randall, and he's getting this. Let's just call it, you know, 14, 15 minutes a game behind Randall, and maybe a couple of minutes a game at center, depending on who your matchup is.
Sharon says he doesn't defend either.
Wow,
Sharon, I want tell me this: who would you like? Who would you like that you think is a realistic target,
exactly.
or
That's what
or or
that's what
would
we're
you
talking about.
want to stay pat? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
with this team that can't be any elite teams. I think that Olenek has had a history of playing pretty good defense and a little bit of shot blocking, but um, you know he's a pretty good rebounder. He's aggressive, and he can play the stretch five when needed. So, like you said, when you have to go against the Brook Lopez's of the world, when you have to go against the Embiids of the world, the um, the KPs of the world, you got somebody that can get some minutes against those guys. Maybe he's not a match every game. Maybe he doesn't play, you know, any center minutes on a regular basis, but as needed. All right. So,
I got one for Sharon. Sharon wants a wing. He wants a 6'9" or taller wing. I think he's on your list.
he's on
Is
my
he?
list. January 14th, he will be available from the Portland Trailblazers. The 5-year contract, Mr. Jeremy Grant. Absolutely. Now, the thing is, you get Jeremy Grant. Ooh, are you trading RJ to get Jeremy Grant though?
Mm.
Are we doing that?
Probably not. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I don't think the Knicks are either.
But if we could bring him in and then figure it out,
because if you bring in Jeremy Grant, you're gonna do what? Move RJ to the 2 and add Jeremy Grant in the starting lineup? Is that it? Maybe.
I wouldn't even. I don't think I would go for Grant right now. I like Grant. I liked Grant a couple years ago before he went to Portland.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Denver, right? Before he went to Portland.
Correct.
I was interested in him then. No, and that's not who I thought you were going with. I thought you was gonna say Ingram.
Brandon Ingram?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, to me, he's not even realistic.
I mean,
to me, that's not realistic.
I think he's real. I think he's realistic. I just think it's not gonna. It's gonna cost. It's gonna be costly. Like a lot of these guys, they're not gonna cost that much. You know what I mean? Like we'll still be in position to make the next move if we go after Brandon Ingram. He
that's gonna empty the cupboard a bit.
Exactly.
That's gonna be like 3 first-round picks, maybe even 4. And I don't see this front office, doing that. You couple that with his contract, 3 first-round picks. You got to include RJ in that deal. I don't know. Maybe that makes Zion happy, makes someone to stay. You include RJ, he's got his homie there with him. I mean, that's a nice theory.
Jalen Smith is on the Pacers. If that's the Jalen Smith you're referring to, I wanted them to do that trade for Obi. If but he's not a wing. I think he's more of a 4 or 5. He fits my my category of one of the what I think we could use.
I don't know. Jeremy Grant, 22 points a game, 35 minutes a game.
The chat is saying Randall would have to go if we got Ingram.
Why would they do that? They have Zion.
That's true too.
No, RJ would have to go, and you would put RJ with his homie Zion, and that would be a trade to make Zion happy and make him want to stay around. That's what I mean. If you're in New Orleans seat, that's what's making sense for you. But Jeremy Grant, 44% from the field, 41% from 3, 83 from the line, averaging 4 rebounds a game, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 22 points. Good numbers at small forward. And pretty good defender. He is 29 years old and just signed a 5-year deal.
And his deal is descending, right? His contract is descending.
Let me pull that right on up because I was looking at it earlier.
I'm pretty sure.
He's at 27.5 this year, 29.7 next year.
Oh.
32, 34, and then a player option for 36.4. So Um, 3 more years after this, and then a player option. I mean, all things considered, his contract and his ability and what he's bringing to the table is valuable.
Sharon says you don't like RJ, don't sell him short. And then he says, I will not trade RJ for OG straight up.
Okay, but it's not about what I like. You put up what RJ does versus what Jeremy Grant does, and they're making essentially the same money. RJ's making 23 this year. Grant is making, what did I say, 25, 27?
27.
Yeah, I mean, for a difference of $3 or $4 million. I mean, and Grant's been proven at these numbers for several seasons.
If I rather if I'm moving RJ, I rather do the Ingram thing than the Grant thing. I'd much rather try to get Grant and then figure it out, whatever has to change, whether he's off the bench, RJ, whatever it is, just figure that out. Then
Yeah,
give
you
up on RJ.
you probably putting RJ at the 2. Now you got Grimes out the rotation. Maybe you saying Grimes even in that deal. You know what I'm saying? With Fournier and whatever other little pieces you got to send.
That yeah. Hit him up said Wilson Chandler was better than RJ. And I ain't gonna lie, yo. I really used to like Wilson Chandler, yo. I thought
Yo, at
I
the
was
at the peak of his game, when they traded him at his peak, and I was very I ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't really a big Melo fan. And after that big fight at the Garden, I was like, oh man, this guy. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really hyped on the Melo deal like that. And I liked Wilson Chandler. Granted, he wasn't, a future all-star really and nothing like that. But
I think Bay is 6'7".
yeah, he's like an undersized power forward, but he's strong enough to get some power forward minutes. Kind of like basically he's Randall, a right-handed Randall with a
I
better with a better 3-point shot.
um again, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Jeremy Grant. I just don't want to give up any rotational, you know what I mean, any of our main guys.
But you brought
Um
up Brandon. You brought up Brandon Ingram. Like, you really think Brandon Ingram is on the table to be dealt? Like, you think they even really seriously considering, like, we're taking phone calls on Brandon Ingram?
no, I'm saying I think we could put a package that entices them.
Get him on the phone. Get him talking.
Yeah. I think we can at least have the conversation. I don't know if I'm not saying they're shopping them or they want to
Yeah, okay.
move, you know what I mean, but I think we could. And I like what you're saying there about the RJ thing. If
The RJ Zion.
if they
Yeah,
trying to, you know
yeah.
what I
Make
mean,
him happy. We
keep,
want you to stay around. We got your guy here. What else we need to do? We'll put Shorty we'll put Shorty on the private jet. Whatever you need with her. Zion is crazy. He a wild dude.
uh Coach Sari says if Bay is 6'8" and can play a small forward, get him. We gotta ask Sherman though, if does he play defense? Because I thought he was a defender as well, but people have told me that Bay's defense is bad. I don't know when that happened. Like, I watched him in college, so I thought he was a real good defender. Yeah, I like Bay too. Though. I've always liked Bay.
And considering how the kid Johnson is developing and playing so well, that might make Bay a little bit more expendable.
No doubt. Let me shout out Craig in the chat. and transition because he's mentioned it. Hachimura, he's on your list.
Hachimura is on my list. Hot for Hachimura. You heard?
I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be mad at it. I think they would 100% demand quickly. Like that would be the starting point. Um, that's where I get hesitant though. um,
Now this whole quickly thing is very, very tricky because I mean, I don't think I've ever really seen a sign and trade during a season.
no,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a sign and trade though.
Well, stay with me. I don't
Okay,
think I've ever seen a sign and trade during the season. And that's what makes this like thing with quickly very tricky because he's he's so overplaying his value that it's really challenging getting the level of quality player in return for him based on what he's bringing to the table. It's like, all right, well, you talking about they starting with quickly, but quickly is the main cog on this team, and Hachimura is coming in to play a backup power forward
and that
14 minutes a game. So
that-
it ain't really adding up that you demanding and starting with quickly. You know what
I'm
I'm
just
saying?
I'm trying to think. I mean, Craig says Grimes. I don't know who do you think the Lakers would want or like you know what I mean? Like to me, I think they value Hachimura, or at least feel like he has value throughout the league. You know what I mean? So
I think right now though he probably got more value to the Lakers than he does to a lot of teams, short and long term.
I mean, Vanderbilt just came back, right? He's been out for a minute, and I
Yeah,
think they're very high on Vanderbilt.
yeah,
Um,
he's pretty good.
um, I don't know if he's as valued. I think he was more valuable when Vanderbilt was out. You know what I mean? Now that Vanderbilt's back, I think his value decreased. Um,
Yeah, it's an argument. It's an argument for that. I mean, he just got the new deal. Hachimura, 15 million, 15.7.
listen, if we could move Grimes for Hachimura, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
Hachimura's at 15.7, so that's not a straight up deal.
I mean, yeah.
And
Hmm.
you know, and
Got
if they lose him,
and they just re-signed him, right?
right, that's what I just said. They just re-signed him and he's at 15.7.
Hmm. Hmm.
They don't really
What did they sign? Dude from Miami. How much they signed him for?
uh, Gabe Vincent, 10 million.
So it's 25. Mm. I had an interesting thought. I don't want to move. I wouldn't move quickly, so I don't know if they would do it. But I'm like, uh, Fournier and Grimes for Hachimura. Might have to put that trade exception in there too, or maybe Fournier and the trade exception. That would give them some cap relief coming into next year.
You
Gives them
probably
a, gives
you
them a
probably
shooter.
you probably have to throw in Sims for that. So at least they got a body to replace Hachimura down low.
I might do that though. I think I would do that. I like Sims, but
He could go.
Yeah, I think I might do that. Oh, Sherwin, where you at? What's your thoughts on Hachimura?
He don't play no defense.
I ain't getting no tomatoes. So.
He don't get no. He don't play no defense. Don't tell me that about Hachimura.
Yeah, only moving IQ for a starter. I agree with you. I agree. I don't even want to move IQ. I mean, he's in a slump right now. He really need a breakout game. Shoot, the whole Knicks need a breakout game at this point.
They need to play against some of them bottom feeder teams, and they can play well again. Like I told you,
All
that's what's
right,
going on. That's what's going on right now. Tone.
yeah,
The team has not be a top tier team.
and I mean, I know, but before these two blowouts, these last two blowouts, we was in every game other than one,
There's maybe like two or
maybe
three,
two,
maybe
maybe
three,
two.
maybe three. But I mean, at some point though, when you're not winning them, as I said a couple weeks ago, at some point when you're not winning them, you're not winning them.
Nah, I feel you. It was the Boston game, the second Boston game, and it was the Timberwolves game. Other than
Yeah,
that, we was we was
even even
we
the
was in
even
every
the
one.
even the New Orleans game,
You're right. You're right.
even though it was like 9, 10 points,
You're
it
right.
just never felt like they
You're
were
right.
in that.
You're right. That was the other one. That was the other one.
And you haven't beaten you haven't. But just the thing is, I would be able to live with that more if you got a couple of wins against top tier teams. But because you have no wins against top tier teams, I can't really buy that. I can't buy what you're selling with that. Not you personally, but I just can't buy this. Oh, we 20 games in and we ain't beat one top tier team yet.
I'm gonna add somebody to the list. And I probably wouldn't do this now, or if I did, it wouldn't be like I wouldn't be using him now. I would probably be trying to
Trade and stash.
work him back into game shape. This is another like Dwight Howard, somebody who's not in the league, hasn't been in the league, but Boogie Cousins. If you could get him, sign him up, and just trying to get him ready for like a playoff push or even a playoffs. I mean, at the
Yeah,
very least, he's six fouls. You know what I mean? But now that's another big that could stretch the floor. You know what I mean? I mean, you talk about Hartenstein passing. I think Boogie was one of the best passing bigs in the league. You know what I mean? When he was playing, I heard before the season he was trying to get back in the league, but I don't know.
all right, Tom.
Keith Turner said it's over for Turner Cousins. I mean,
I'm probably giving Dwight Howard a shot before Boogie Cousins.
fair enough. I'm just throwing him out there.
Yeah, you throwing him all right.
All right. Where you want to go next?
Um, I do agree. Playmaking is an issue. So it's for me not necessarily in any particular order, but there's a guy that can get their own shot. Uh, your point, you detailed uh, uh, a power forward that can also potentially be a stretch five, um, and be an offensive threat, small ball type of deal, whatever. Maybe that could play alongside Randall. And yeah, well, those are the two main things. So even though it's not like I wouldn't consider it a big signing. I don't think it makes us, a contender for a title necessarily. But
Mhm.
I like Jeff Green. I like Jeff Green in that role as OG mentor, tough guy, can back up Randall and can play some minutes at the five depending on who you're going against.
Yeah. He's fresh off a championship too, right? He was on that Denver team.
He was in that Denver squad,
Um,
and
yeah,
he's got plenty of playoff experience.
old man Jeff Green. I always like Jeff Green. Yeah, I could see him playing a Taj type role. You know what I mean? So I could definitely see him playing a Taj Gibson type role. Speaking of Taj Gibson, he's out the league?
Uh,
Because I know he got waived. I don't know if he ever got picked up. I remember we was talking about that.
yeah, I thought they were gonna re-sign him, but I don't know if maybe they didn't.
I wouldn't mind bringing Taj back either. Taj or Jeff Green? Who you going with?
I'm going with Jeff Green. I know Tibbs is going with Taj. So
I don't know if he is though, because I feel like when he got waived, I feel like Tibbs would have snatched him up immediately, like picked him up from the airport. So I don't know what transpired, but I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if I would go. I think Jeff Green brings a different dynamic. Like he still has, as old as he is, he still got a little bit of athleticism left. You know what I mean? He's definitely got the three ball. Taj got the three ball too. Maybe not as efficient. Um, if Taj is younger, I'm going Taj. If Green is younger, I'll go Green.
I'm going Green.
And where's he at?
Houston Rockets.
How many minutes he playing? He can't be playing a bunch, and I can't imagine if we did bring him here, I doubt he would play more than 10, 12 minutes.
No, yeah, you put him behind Randall, and
I, I
right now he's playing 15 minutes a game. Perfect.
wow.
That's perfect. You're not bringing him in to do more than what he's already doing, and maybe do a little bit less. 53% from the field, 32% from three, 77 from the line.
Sherman said he's their vet. He ain't going nowhere.
He's their vet. He ain't going nowhere.
I mean, they got a couple vets now.
Van Vliet, but when he said he's their vet, the vet he's talking about, the Taj Gibson vet,
Mm-hmm.
the Herb Williams vet,
Udonis Haslam.
the Udonis Haslam vet.
Oh,
We got to get a name for that. We got to give somebody that. We got to give a player. We got to give a player that signifies that. So when we talking about the OG vet, we know who we talking about. We got to give a vet that we got to keep it in New York. Maybe it'll be the Herb Williams. We need a Herb Williams type. You know what I'm saying? Because he definitely did it for like 4 years.
4.
Yeah, he did it for like a good 4 years where he was like playing like 1.4 minutes per game.
Nah, he did it for more than 4 years. It feel like, yo. and
But,
then
but,
he, and then he wouldn't leave the organization. like
no, I ain't. Where am I going? I'm here. Like,
I think
y'all
he
know I
got
ain't going
he
nowhere.
got a room in the garden somewhere. I think he's still in the garden.
All right,
Um,
so that's it. It's the Herb Williams vet. We need a Herb Williams. We'll go with that. All
I
right,
don't
so
know, but I, I get PTSD when I think about Herb Williams on the Knicks. It bring me back to the dark days sometimes.
uh, uh, man, he was there
Oh,
for some good years,
he was for sure.
but
Those
then they
were
made
some
it,
times.
but then they made him an interim coach, didn't they? Ah, those are the dark days. You probably thinking about. I wasn't even thinking about that, Tom. Why you had to take me there?
Knicks
I had that
abused
block. I had that blocked out of my memory.
Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter. Eh, I
That's
look at
how I
him.
felt too.
I look at him as somebody that's really more on the trade blocks, but not necessarily somebody for the Knicks.
Yeah.
But you never know.
I mean, he fits the prototype, the art.
He's a
I mean,
he's a Tibbs type. That's how he made it on the list.
Royce O'Neal, he's in Brooklyn, right? I don't think we're gonna do any cross river, give me cross town trades.
Yeah, for backup players.
And yeah,
For backup players, I think it's possible. For backup players, it's not like this is going to be a needle mover where they're going. This will be Brooklyn trading to the Knicks, helping the Knicks get to a championship. You know, it ain't that type of thing. You know, it's for a backup player. You know, I look at him as a backup power forward.
if we did get Hunter, would he come off the bench?
I think he's kind of like Jeremy Grant. You got to figure it out. You know, I mean, personally, I feel he's just as good as RJ, and you know, maybe could play alongside him. I don't know. Like, I'm torn with RJ. Like, I root for this guy. I want the best for him. You know, I wanted him to have a great start to the season. Before the injury, he was doing amazing. You know, he's fell back. You know, like Cinderella. The clock struck 12. You know what I mean? Bridges from the Nets. Is this guy smoking crack?
He said he knows they're not gonna do it, or it won't be easy. But the Nets might want RJ instead of Grimes. But if the Nets still want RJ, then hang up the phone. I give up RJ for Bridges.
This
And
guy's smoking woolies.
I definitely give up RJ for Bridges.
First of all, they're not giving up Bridges. Second of all, you won't give up RJ to get Bridges? What? What? We're talking about Mikal Bridges, right? several All NBA defensive player, Mikal Bridges, right? That's what we're talking about. He don't want to give RJ up for it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that's averaging 49% from the field, 38 from three, 86 from the line, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 23 points a game, and is a multiple All NBA defensive player. That's the guy you don't want to give up for RJ. Oh, okay, I got it. Well, I don't listen. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Yeah, once they said they turned down 4 picks for him, I was like, they ain't giving him up.
Yeah,
Sharon says Hunter is Obi's Hunter is their Obi. They're trying to dump his salary. And then he also said,
yeah.
have you seen Hunter
Atlanta
play?
wants to be off of him.
I feel like he played better like his first 2 years.
I agree.
Oh, Hunter's making 20 million.
Yeah, he signed a new deal. 4 years, 90 million.
Mm.
So he in year 2. I mean, the numbers is not really that high though. I mean, you look at the players that are making 20 million. There's players that are making 20 million that's not, not giving you what he's giving you. So, you look at the new contracts that are going to be coming up in the next 1-2 years. 20 million ain't that bad. Yo, cat, it's time.
She know. Um, Joe Harris, I think I'm a pass.
Yeah,
I know.
he's on an expiring contract. I just kind of just threw him in there like, hey, listen, who knows?
He don't play no defense.
Neither does Fournier.
Who else we got here?
I looked at him as just, maybe like as part of a throw-in type of deal or something like that.
Did we talk Holmes? Did we talk Rashawn Holmes?
No, we didn't talk Holmes. Like to me, he signifies this front office, under the radar guy. You know what I mean? Something kind of low key. You're not gonna really have high expectations. Not a guy that's talked about a lot, but a guy that can come in and just, do a job.
Was he like 6'9"?
6'8", 6'9", power forward.
I know Queen was very high on him a few years back. Yeah, I think it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I think that with with their pick at center, Lively, who is beasting, I don't know if there's value to keep him on the roster for the Mavs the way they may have thought prior to the season.
And he could play the
He's
5,
playing
right?
he's playing some backup center for them and backup power forward.
And he can stretch the floor. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
he
so
fits.
he's actually 6'9".
Yeah, I mean, it would give us a little bit more size. You know what I mean? I guess it'll be what the third tallest player. You know what I mean? Right off the back.
Yeah, you could use him in small ball as a 5. He doesn't have any 3-pointers made this season, so
Okay.
he's not really a 3-point threat, but he's more of an offensive threat. But he's shooting a Mitch like 41% from the foul line.
Mm,
So I
mm,
don't know if we want
right.
to. I don't know if we need to add that to this team.
No. Uh, who did we miss on this list?
Let's see. Uh, oh,
Beltrans.
oh yeah, Mavis Bertans.
The
A
the
a
only
stretch four.
the only way I'm doing it if it's a Fournier swap, at the very least, it would give us some size. I don't anticipate him being like a part of the rotation, but I also feel like he's one of those guys that would stay ready. You know what I mean? He could come in and hit a big shot.
Yeah,
He's expiring, right? He's still on that. It's the last year of that big deal.
is the last year of his quote unquote big deal, which he's only getting 17 million this year. And he does have an early termination option, 5 million partially guaranteed for next season.
Mm.
5 million guaranteed for next year. So I'm just not clear if that's player termination or if that's team early termination.
It's got to be a team because you can't You can't have a partial on a player option.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
you know what I mean? Like,
Either you in or you out. Yeah,
yeah,
so I mean, you got if you want to willing to throw 5 million away, you know, you could dump him after this year, or you bring him back next year at 16 million.
yeah, because you can't. That new rule too. Like, let's say we did make that move and we tried to trade him in the offseason. The team that's trading for him, his contract will automatically become guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
They just implemented that rule. Like that's why like we couldn't have we had to waive Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? Like not pick up the option. If we picked up the option and even though the next season didn't start yet and we traded him, he would that contract would have been guaranteed. They couldn't trade for him and then waive him, basically. So I don't know if that applies with a partial though. If it's the same rule with a partial guarantee. Um yeah, I would only do it for Fournier. Um
Yeah, their money's about the same.
uh Morris slash Covington. I used to really be high on Covington. He's another vet, you know what I mean? Like he fits that vet bill now. Um Gives us size. Don't think he
He's
would.
only, he's only 6'8" though.
I
He ain't no
mean,
real he ain't no real power forward.
no, I agree, but we don't got no 6'8". That like again, he would be the fourth tallest player on the team. Like
So
we
so
really
what do you think about Morris?
I'm not mad at him either. He
How many
I think
times have we said we needed a goon on this team?
you're right. You're right.
So I'm just like, all right, well, if he ain't really getting many minutes, can we get a goon for cheap?
And they playing Covington, huh? Who do you think would be the cheaper option? Because I wouldn't mind either one.
All right, let's look at the numbers here. So we got Covington is on the last year of the deal, making 11.7. And we got Marcus Morris Sr. on the last year of an expiring, making 17.1.
Yeah, I don't think they would. I think they're gonna stand pat until you know what I mean. They playing well, they doing good. I don't think they're gonna unless one of these guys just isn't playing.
Yeah, I mean, Philly's looking well. Um, they've got Batum, who was initially someone I was kind of looking at, but they've
No, they
got
they definitely utilizing him.
and and so that's why I said, all right, well, they got Batum, and then they're putting Morris as like the backup small forward to Harris, and really using Harris as the backup power forward. So they're doing like
Mhm.
a 3-man rotation with Batum, Harris, and Morris. Um, they also have Kelly Oubre, who's playing
Mm.
backup shooting guard, but also plays some minutes at the three. So Robert Covington essentially is not really
He's the
in,
he's the odd man out.
he's the odd man out more or less. And you know, he's not playing much. They say he's playing 17 minutes a game, but you know, some of those minutes at power forward, some of those minutes at small forward here on the Knicks. You know, 45 points a game, 45 from the field. But what do you have to offer Philly that they want to do a interdivision trade?
Yeah, whatever they want, we probably don't want to give.
Well, what they do need is draft picks. So,
I don't even think I would want to.
They got Pat
That
Bev
was
as the backup point guard, Paul Reed and Mo Bamba as their backup centers. Like if they were trying to go all in, they would be looking to maybe acquire somebody that could back up Embiid when Embiid's hurt, give him some more rest, like a Hardenstein. You know what I mean? That like if I'm Philly, I'm trying to shore up my backup center position a little bit.
Morris. Morris
Yeah,
and Mo Bamba for Hartenstein.
there you go.
Does Mo Bamba even play? He don't play, huh?
Not really.
Who else?
He plays irrelevant minutes.
I think you had one guy left, Kuminga.
Jonathan Kuminga. Yeah, Mo Bamba 6 minutes a game, and only 10 games played out of 21 games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Kuminga. What's that?
I think what would the cost be?
For who? Kuminga? You said for Kuminga?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't necessarily think he's a target per se for the Knicks. He's only 6'7". He's really an undersized power forward. He's really more of a small forward, but don't shoot well enough or handle well enough to be a small forward. So
damn, he's 6'7". I thought he was like 6'9". That's crazy.
Let me just double check that. Nope, 6'7", 225. And they got him listed as a power forward. He's a Golden State power forward.
You rather Kuminga or Wiggins?
On the Knicks?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I think that's pretty easy. I mean, Wiggins.
I like Wiggins. I would yeah, I like Wiggins. But they in this very similar position as the Knicks as far as lack of height on their roster. So you know what I mean? Anybody that got any kind of size is more valuable to them, just like the guys with size on our team are more valuable. You know what I mean to us.
And let me just put an asterisk on that. I used to like Wiggins, but he disappeared last year, and since he disappeared, he ain't been the same. So,
from away from the team, you mean when he was away from the
exactly.
Yeah, he hasn't.
So I'm kind of like on the Wiggins thing a little bit.
I mean, I don't really be into the whole gossip thing, but if the rumors are true, it's very understandable.
Well, just fill me in. I don't know the rumors.
Allegedly, I don't know how true this is. I just heard some people talking about it, but like his kids' parents, his kid's mom was supposedly his kids may not be his, basically.
Oh, he got the Tim Duncan.
And maybe like his best friends.
I just found out the Tim Duncan story like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I don't even know. Fill me in.
Son, do you know who Tim Duncan's kid's daddy is? Robert Horry.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Your own teammate.
Wow. I mean, there'd be a lot of that going around.
Your own teammate that you play with is banging your wife. Nah, that's foul.
Oh, hold up. Oh, I thought Delusional was in the chat. I was about to say, my guy. That's crazy, yo. That's nuts. No loyalty in the NBA. That's right. Oh no,
Yeah,
that was just the coolest calling us delusional.
yo, Amy Duncan. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not gonna get into
Wow.
I'm not gonna get into other parts of the rumors about him, but
Oh yeah. I mean, that's it. Anybody? I mean, elephant in the room. Donovan Mitchell. I ain't gonna front. I've been like I've never was. Once we got Brunson, I wasn't. I didn't think the two of them fit per se, especially defensively. But if our defense is what it's been, and looking at some of these other teams that are really just outscoring teams, I'm a lot more open to the Donovan Mitchell edition than I was before.
Yeah.
And he really be look at times he looked like he is not engaged. Like he's just counting the days. But yeah, that was my biggest
So
concern though.
he has one more season and a player option after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, as long as Cleveland's competitive though, I mean if they put somebody else around him and or the team, develops and keeps playing well, again, at least they're beating the Miami Heat. They beat the Orlando Magic. You know what I mean? They beat the 76ers. They beat the Nuggets. You know, they beat the Knicks 1 out of 2. So, you know, Cavs look a little bit more believable at this point.
Almighty Finessa, he's trading Mitch for Vucevic. I would trade Hartenstein for Vucevic
From
and give him,
Chicago?
yeah, and give and like if we could do a Vucevic and DeRozan, and I would prefer to keep Mitch, but yeah, I would prefer to keep Mitch.
Put him on the bench.
What figure it out.
Right. So I like your style. You ain't committing to people being on the bench or not, but you just say if we would just figure it out.
I mean, if he is, I ain't mad. If he isn't, I ain't mad because I feel like the dynamic. Again, we need a threat at center, somebody who stretches the floor, somebody who changes the dynamic of what this team has been doing. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying get rid of Mitch because Mitch is super valuable to the team. Like, we wouldn't be who we've been without Mitch. You know what I mean? But on the flip side, we need a counterpart that does the things that Mitch doesn't do.
Yeah. And while we're talking about what we've been and how valuable he's been to what we've been. What we are is an average team that doesn't beat any top tier teams.
I ain't gonna lie. I was open to. I was My concerns with Cat is just the amount of money. Like, if I know if we go get Cat, we're pretty much done. You know what I mean? Like, there's no next move after that.
Yeah, well,
But he would fit that bill as well. But
I like Cat, but if he's like doing this Anthony Davis thing, I'm not a center, I'm a power forward. Like I'm not really jacking that. You come in here to play center, fam. Get I don't care if you shoot threes, but you're gonna play defense against Embiid. You're gonna play defense against Joker. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's gonna be. And if that's not what you're signing up for, you know, that's not it. Wasn't it somebody the Knicks? Wasn't it somebody that Phil Jackson was? Oh, it was LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, yo,
yeah, he didn't want to play center.
we're pulling you in to play center. That's what it is. Stretch five. He would have been a great stretch five. Somewhat early in the stretch five era. Phil Jackson was a little ahead of the curve on that. And lo and behold, what happened to LaMarcus Aldridge? What did he become?
Center.
He became a stretch five. That's what he became. That's exactly the role he played. So shout out to Phil Jackson on that one. I mean, he was wrong about a lot of stuff, but he wasn't wrong about that.
Well, you think the stretch five? You think you think we need a wing more than we need a stretch five?
Yo, that's a super bag of worms, fam, because it's hit and miss. RJ is the X factor on this team. RJ is the X factor on this team. If he could develop and do the things that's necessary, more efficient on threes, more efficient on layups, and develop a pull-up jumper. That's what we need at the wing spot. That's what we need. He's he gave us some of the 3-point shooting to kick the season off. He gave us a little bit better finishing at the hoop. But since he's come back from that headache, it's back to the same old RJ. Same old RJ. Sound like a t-shirt.
Mm.
It's like, man, it's like a player that you think got so much potential. And like, yo, it's like, man, like you could do it. But yo, you're not doing it. And it's like, yo, how much am I gonna be, allow myself to, how much oh man, it's like I just scratched my head with RJ, man. I asked for a fast start. I asked for a fast start. He gave me a fast start. I gave him his props. But here we are.
Well, let's get this win tomorrow because we got Toronto, right? And after that, it gets rough again.
We got no trade clause Toronto. Because we got no trades happening with them.
Alberto said, "How about Harris from Philly for Randall?"
Harris from Philly. Tobias Harris?
Yeah.
Why do you think they trading him?
Yeah, I pass.
I mean, Long Island boy, I'd be happy to have him. But why would they be trading him?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade him for Randall though.
Right now, he's back to where he started in his career, small forward.
Who do you think starts at the 5 tomorrow if Mitch is out.
Oh,
Sims.
nah, nah. I mean, even if he starts, he's playing 5, 6 minutes. He's coming out. So, you know, for me, that's not even. I don't even care if he doesn't start. You know, Philly's got Batum playing with Harris. So I guess you could say whoever's power forward, small forward, not much of a difference there. But um, I don't know. I doubt that Sims is going to start. I think overall, iHeart's been having a solid season, and he's played enough minutes, and he's been quality enough that I think they'll just give him the start. Sims has played, and he's seen a little bit all over the place. I think he's taken a step back in terms of the faith of the team and organization with what he does.
No, I think Sims starts just because that's what Tibbs has been doing when Mitch is out. Kind of they kind of play similar games, and then it keeps that second unit intact. But I agree with what you said. It'll be a short, what I mean, short leash.
Super short.
Can we win without Mitch?
You know, we only win it against losing teams, average teams.
I'm talking
So
about tomorrow, Toronto. They not considered a winning team. So can we still win without Mitch?
no,
You think we lose tomorrow?
Mitch is out.
I'm working under the assumption that he's out. They talk about further tests. If you're doing further tests, he ain't gonna be available. It's really a matter of how much time, but I don't think he's gonna be available
Mm. Yeah.
for
So
at least one game. Yeah, they said it already. Mitch is
oh,
out.
he's been ruled out for Monday's game against the Raptors. It's not good. Not
Man,
good.
oh man,
Not good.
I know, I know. I don't know, man.
Raptors are only 9-13. I mean, at least the guy that they're playing against at center is not like a super athletic center.
Nah,
You know,
Pirtle's nice.
I didn't say he wasn't nice and he can score. I didn't say he wasn't nice. I said he's not super uber athletic.
Yeah.
So but he gets busy, on the offense, and he does block some shots too. But in terms of like he been like somebody that's killing you on the offensive boards and that kind of thing, you know, I just don't think he's having that type of wild impact. Um, for them. He's averaging what 27 minutes a game, 73% from the field. Nice. He's got no 3-pointers. So, that whole aspect where, the team's been getting hurt is not so bad. He only shoots 46% from the foul line. Only gets 3 offensive boards, 2.8 offensive boards per game. So he's not killing you on the boards, on the offensive board. So, I think he's the prototype for a good matchup for iHeart. For me, if Mitch is out, potentially a 1-game stint, then this might be the game to start iHeart, who I've been calling RoboCop low key. Um, I'm putting RoboCop on this guy to start the game.
There's a lot of Mitch hate coming out the chat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's see. Let's put it. Keith Turner. He said all Mitch does is clog up the lane.
mm.
Oh, let me find out. It's all you, Keith. Mitch Robinson don't give us no offense. Yeah. He said, "What does Mitchell Robinson do besides run up and down the court?"
Yo, and truth be told, he ain't even running that much these days. He's jogging. You ain't see Mitch? You ain't see how slow he looks now? Is he tired or just is he slow?
Pardon me.
I don't know. I've
I
been
don't
watching
know.
him. I've been watching him. Like, yo, fam. He's just like he's lumbering. And I'm like, damn, what happened?
Yeah, I have noticed that.
I'm like, what are we doing?
Craig said he missed KP. Oh man.
Yeah. KP.
Don't open up old wounds.
Yeah, KP. Gotta give him his due, man. He was a little shaky there for a couple of years, but he's bounced back. He'll get injured again though.
He said nobody hates Mitch. It's just the truth. But if you're gonna bring up what he doesn't do, bring up what he does. You know what I mean? Because the second possessions was a staple of our offense last year. Like we don't end this year. You know what I mean? And I will admit, like he started the season like
On fire.
probably the best Mitch we've seen. He's tapered off the last 4 games or so, maybe 5.
When you're playing the better teams.
Any like last words or anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Nah, January 14th though. That's pretty much when all of these deals will be available and players can be moved that couldn't be moved sooner than that. So we'll put a target on the calendar sometime that week to revisit this.
Yeah, and I just know we need a win. We haven't lost 3 games in a row this year, right?
No.
Yeah, let's not do it. Let's not do it. And the schedule gets tougher. We got the Bucks on Christmas again. We got a West Coast trip coming up, right? We got both LA teams.
A 5-game West Coast trip.
Yeah. Let's
after this Toronto game, it's a 5-game West Coast trip. Utah, Phoenix, Clippers, Lakers, and back home against Brooklyn, but in New York.
I mean, we got plenty of opportunities coming up to beat one of the elite teams, right? One of the above 500 teams, one of the surefire playoff teams. We need a statement win. We've been talking about it for 3 games now. We need a statement win. Let's get this win. I'll probably be on the pregame with Sim, whatever time he's doing that. I'll probably be on Queen's Court tomorrow, whatever time Queen's doing that. And post game, we need a losers lounge too. We haven't had one of those in a little minute.
L's up for your losers lounge.
That's right. Shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for joining me on this Sunday or Monday now. So I got into the Monday slot. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Shuttle man, appreciate you jumping in with me as always. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black, it's time. Until next time.